Hey.
Welcome to the 49th hour of Adventure Wanted. Yeah.
It sounds like an Ian Rankin novel.
We've been here a while and we're still going. It's going great. Right, so I really apologise for reading off my phone. Just to start off, we've got a new intro spiel and I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. So, before we kick off this hour's game, just a reminder, this is a relaxed performance, which does mean the light will stay like this. There won't be any sudden loud sounds. There will be some music in the background just for atmosphere. Lost my place entirely. Also, because this is a relaxed performance, we have a relaxed attitude towards movement and sound from our audience for the benefit of those who are unable to sit still or stay silent for a full hour, which is absolutely fine. If for any reason you need to take a break or a breather, you're welcome to go out through the door you came in by and use the seating area to the right-hand side. Likewise, if you need to go to the toilet, things like that, we're happy for you to leave and come back in during the hour. I'm Naomi, and if you need any help during the show, I'm going to be sat right over there. I'm tapping away because we are live tweeting this, but don't worry, feel free to interrupt me and ask me anything or anything like that. If you need anything right now, if you need a hearing loop headset or something to that effect, then do let me know. I'm going to pass you over to Reese, who's our games master for today, and we will get started.
Hello. So, for anyone who is unfamiliar how tabletop role-playing games work, is that each person here that you see plays an individual character and are in control of that character. I, as the games master, will play the rest of the world, which is not a scary task. Describing places and people and things they encounter. I tell them what happens, they tell me what they want to do in return, and we try and mediate with dice rolls, determining what happens, whether or not they succeed fantastically or fail hilariously. All our players on the crew are part of the crew of a science research vessel known as the Spirit of the Horizon, on which they went on a recent mission and was unexpectedly and magically transported to a completely new and unknown land. Now the crew have to figure out how to get home, whether it be by fighting monsters, exploring islands, finding allies, or some other means. Most recently, they found themselves on the Torcan Caldera, exploring... They're laughing because this is the first time I've had to not be reminded about that name. Exploring this island. They've been taken there by the Thundercrest Federation. For any of you Star Trek fans out there, the Federation is very similar to the Star Trek Federation because some tropes are worth it. After being taken prisoner by the Thundercrest Federation, they were taken to this place and introduced to the Rear Admiral and the Queen of Lunas, this city upon the island. After being told they have done nothing wrong, they were set a trial to go kill a giant roc, which is a bird-like creature. Succeeding in that, they got set a second trial. Unsure of what it was, they accepted and faced a giant, successfully killing the giant, but also double-crossing the barons. They have returned to the barge and been greeted by Queen Lunas, who has rewarded them with treasure and has instructed them that she will take them back to the palace, where she will give them their dock pass, which means that the Spirit of the Horizon is free to come and go as it pleases. We left them off as they were heading from port travel back to Lunas, and that's where we'll pick up. So I'm going to give the players an opportunity to introduce themselves, starting from over there with Leo.
Hello there, I'm Leo, and I'm playing Philip Iontaru, the elven geologist and very cool person.
Because geology rocks.
Geology does rock. Would you like a lecture?
No, I'm good.
Geology's great.
I am Johnny. I'm playing Alistair Vondecomte. He is a dwarven bard, though he is not at all dwarfy. He does not like forging or mining or any of that stuff. He is a writer, and he is extraordinary in many, many ways. He's also got quite the way with the ladies.
My name is Ailey, and I'm playing Nyx, who is a elf wizard. And and they think they also have a way with the ladies, but they do not. And yeah, that's it.
I'm virtual. I'm playing as Parakas Kholadin, who goes by the name Khola. He's a tiefling barbarian. His hobbies are murder, slaughter, and soft poetry. His favorite flower is a lilac, covered in blood. And he's working through a lot of stuff right now, and he's doing pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
He's making a lot of progress.
I'm proud of him.
Thanks, babe.
Excellent. So, you are currently on this barge with the Queen of Lunis, and you are making your way back towards the port. During this time, Jolan, the rogue from earlier, is taken over by a very familiar glow. For you see, as you've been in this world, members of the crew have been teleporting and switching places with each other. And the glow comes over Jolan again, and with a flash, he is replaced by this tall, elven wizard. What were you doing on the ship before you were teleported?
Knitting.
Knitting.
Yes.
A noble pursuit.
Yeah. I was knitting a cover for the hilt of my dagger because my hands get calloused quite easily, and just, you can't be doing with that. I'm an elven wizard. I'm an elf.
Absolutely.
You have
No,
to-
I
yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah,
So-
I get it.
So as you're knitting away, the glow comes over your skin, and this is the first time this has happened to you, and you're like, oh no. And you are instantly teleported onto this barge, surrounded by some familiar crew members. You recognize the geologist, a familiar face who's probably tried to talk to you before. I don't blame you if you avoided him. And Holla.
Ah!
Just
Oh,
for reaction.
hello.
Hello.
Nix! Lovely to see you again!
Good to see you too, Philippe.
Philip.
Philippe, it's so good to see
No,
you.
Philip.
Philippe.
No, no,
I'm hastily putting my knitting away, trying desperately.
First syllable, phi?
Phi.
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 Okay.
Phi. Philippe.
The queen looks over to you and she's like, oh, another one of your kind. What are you? You look at this woman and she's clearly Arabi, which is a race native to this world. Tall, beautiful, pale skin with a glow to their eyes. Clearly have a touch of celestial in them. You look around the ship and you do see several other Arabi, all in armor, with the very similar features, but she seems like there's something else in her. She almost has similar elven features, but she's very clearly got this touch of godness about them.
I go to say, whatever you want me to be, but what comes out is,
What she means is whatever you want it to be.
Is this a tongue that I don't understand? I'm sorry. Do you speak common? Common?
I look once again to Hola.
She means no.
Oh.
I nod emphatically.
Well, I'm learning things about your world, I see. Let's look at it this way. I will quite happily make sure that the treasure that I have awarded you will be escorted to your ship by militia escort.
Could we take a handful of it now?
I see why not. She gestures for the chest to be opened, and the two militia who are guarding it beside open it up, and you see multiple golden coins. She gestures that I don't see why you can't take a few. I was going to escort you through the promenade, maybe do some shopping with you. It's nice to get out amongst the people.
It is. Now, where's that gone? Can I just take some?
Can I roll perception checking and like get an estimate of how much gold there is?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
5?
It's a lot of gold.
It's more than that.
It's probably one of the bigger chests of gold that Collar has seen.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like a lot.
A lot. Okay, cool.
It's shiny and beautiful.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Seeing what Holla is doing and failing to do, can I join in on that?
Yes, make a perception check.
16.
Being a fairly intelligent fellow,
Yes.
you look at the size of the chest, check out the dimensions, how deep it is. You estimate around 4,000 to 5,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Do you tell me this?
No.
I
Why
just have,
why
I
would
just
I
have
do
a
that?
good handful.
A good handful, that would probably be around 35 gold pieces.
Okay.
I start up to Philip and say, Philip,
Yes. It's a lot of gold. Yes.
I also
It's
bend
about
over and
4
say,
grand.
"What are we talking about?"
gold.
Oh, okay, cool.
Guys, what are we talking about?
Gold.
Okay. I've got some.
I know. Put it back.
Oh, where'd you get that?
Put it back.
Guys, the queen's staring at us. Okay, we gotta be cool.
Okay, fine.
She's honestly observing you with a curiosity. Like, you have...
I roll to be as boring as possible.
Make a performance check.
13.
You stand there and become as neutral as Holler can be. Occasionally your eyes dart over to see like anything you may be curious about, but you do seem rather dull.
Sound.
I do the opposite. And I am like as elaborate as I can be.
Make a performance check.
16 plus.
Oh no.
25.
25.
You think to your past and think, what would interest a queen? And then you think back, I know a regal dwarven dance that might do the trick, and you begin to do the dance. Directly in front of her, trying to gesture for her to take part.
Hey, Johnny, what does that look like?
Show us the dance.
It's a lot of ribbons and a lot of semi-nudity.
And we're keeping it PG-13.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
unfortunately I can't do it.
She begins to clap her hands,
I give her a wink.
and then she stops.
The ribbons go flaccid.
At this point, you begin to pull up into the dock of Lunis, and being the royal barge, it does attract some attention. And you being strangers to this land, strange species, you do attract a little bit of attention, but you're kind of used to it at this point. You are strangers in this land.
I signed someone an autograph as I walked past.
They asked
They
me for one.
No.
they take it.
Oh, I think it's like someone's forehead.
No. I'm doing it. I'm civilized.
I hand out a drawing of myself. I didn't know we were doing this, obviously. I was on the ship. I always have them. So.
I see everyone handing out stuff, and I just start handing out whatever I've got.
Gold your book.
35 coins gone.
Suddenly, it's turned to flyering on the mile.
It's so ingrained in us.
So, as you're walking along and these individuals pass you, you're just handing them things from your pocket. They're getting drawings of an elf and signatures and just random scribblings of stories that don't make a lot of sense.
Oh, but my stories always made sense.
So, the Queen gestures, and 4 of the militia of the 8 that were on the ship, 2 of them pick up the chest by either side. They form a formation around it and begin to walk the chest down the dock and towards the Spirit of the Horizon. If you 4 would like to come with me, we can go back to the palace, pick up your dock pass, perhaps meet some locals upon the way. It would be good for you to have a presence within the city.
Along the promenade.
Absolutely.
I did love a good promenade back home.
Can I linger behind with Philip for a sec?
Of course.
Jeez.
I don't.
I nod shyly
Trust her,
at the
she's
beautiful
very
lady,
strange.
and I just go over and I try to take her hand
This
so that she could lead us.
Are you doing this timidly?
Yes.
Okay.
Meekly.
Can you just do me just make a general charisma check?
Charisma. Oh, yes. 14?
You go over, and she looks down at you and smiles. You reach out with your hand, and she does take it.
Aw.
Oh. Meanwhile,
I grin.
I just do this.
my dear Alistair, monarchies are not there to be trusted. They're there to win favour from, and right now we're in favour. She wants to be seen with us, then let her be seen with us.
Okay. But I don't trust her.
Well, just keep an eye on her then.
I'm very charming, and she doesn't seem to be responding to my advances.
Maybe she doesn't swing your way, darling.
I noticed them. Holding hands like, I'm going to write a book about this.
Keep it PG-13.
I'll try.
Whatever that is.
So you
Violet takes 1 point of psychic damage.
you're walking along hand in hand with a small militia escort. The queen does attract attention, and occasionally there will be a small Arabian child that runs up to Your Majesty and gives a very shy curtsy. I just wanted to say thank you, and then she runs off. Clearly, she has a lot of respect. And as you're making your way through, can I get a perception check from everyone?
17.
Ooh.
12.
6.
11.
17.
What was yours?
6.
Oh, okay. You're all seeing the general hustle and bustle of the promenade with its stalls and individual marketplaces. The way the Queen is actually leading you is taking you on quite a scenic route. She definitely wants to be seen with you.
See?
All right.
As you're walking along this beautiful white stone promenade with multiple rocks themselves, the stone,
Yeah, what type of stone?
white alabaster.
Aha! I'm taking notes. Alabaster.
They are carved into crescent moon shapes and stars, and they make up this beautiful, intricate, laid out pathway. You
This is
know
gorgeous.
from spending time within the city that this moon is very, very significant to them religiously and culturally. It's the symbol of Simeon, a god of tides and the moon, who is very important in Arabian culture, but especially within the city of Lunas. You're making your way through, and there are multiple market stalls that are selling food and wine and golden little trinkets. And as you make your way out, you start to head into more of a smaller farming area with multiple fields of crops that appear to lead around and back into the city. Is there anything anyone in particular is looking out for as they make their way around?
Yes. Brother Jurgen
Yes.
has asked me to pick up some herbs for him.
Okay.
So the good stuff.
The dank kush.
Well, to put it
Dank-
colloquially, yes.
What is dank?
Fantasy dank kush.
What
Wizard's
is fantasy dank
Wizard's
kush? I'm very confused. I'm sorry.
Hemp, Your Majesty.
Oh,
It's part of his religion.
I mean, okay. It's not the sort of thing I partake in, but
No, of course. No. Well, is it legal?
He asks royalty.
Is it available? Well, firstly, is it legal?
We clear a couple of different worlds.
Violet wants to know if it's legal.
well, it's not for everyone, but there are certain tobacconists that stock it.
Tobacconists, wonderful.
Tobacconists.
I would love to go to a tobacconist and pick up Brother Jurgen some hemp.
There is one coming up actually as we make
Ah.
our way.
How convenient.
Also, I wouldn't mind a bottle of wine.
Oh, anything in particular you're looking for?
Well, I do like an elven red, but
I'm afraid that might be,
Yes, I thought it
seeing
might
as
be.
the elves are not from this land.
What is your finest wine that you make?
Well, of course, I may be a bit biased, but I think anything Arabi made is quite spectacular, but I have been partial to something made by the Komodo.
Ooh. That sounds exotic. I might try some. Is there a winery around?
She looks round and I currently can't see any of them, but I'm sure as we make our way through, we'll find something.
Okay. Let's go and get the wizard's puff, and then
Oh, he's a cleric.
let's go and get the
It's
cleric's
not. It's
puff.
not for me. It's for Brother Jurgen.
Okay, all right.
Definitely not for me. No. Mm.
The
I
party,
can't concentrate on the rocks. if I'm smoking,
Or maybe
if I'm smoking the hemp.
super costume on the rocks.
I'm just looking at them really close.
Rocks, man.
you begin to curve your way back round on this promenade towards the city, and it begins to become a lot more populated. There are small houses and businesses set up. As you make your way, you hear a commotion.
Oh no.
There's a gentleman standing outside a tobacconist's, making quite a ruckus, arguing with militia, at which point they raise their voices and he becomes still distraught, but allowing them to make their way in.
What's going on over there, Your Majesty?
I'm not sure, but my head of the militia is there. Shall we investigate?
Yes, let's investigate.
That sounds
Yes.
fun.
You make your way up, and the militia instantly make the Queen and see the party approaching. The Queen gestures for the other militia to make their way over and assist in whatever is going on here. The individual who's clearly the proprietor of this tobacconist is standing outside looking rather upset, still arguing with militia. And then stepping forward, you see a tall individual wearing the militia armor step forward. My queen, this is nothing you need to concern yourself with. You should head back to the palace with your visitors.
You're the charming one. Why don't you calm the situation down?
Everybody calm down. I'm here now. I'm sure you can get it all sorted out.
Who are you, sir?
They call me Alistair Vondercont, writer, bard extraordinaire.
The Queen speaks up and introduces this individual. This is Orion Evander, the head of the militia.
Captain Evander.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You are
I am Chola.
Holla.
Yes.
That's an interesting set of horns you have. You are
Nix?
Nix.
Yep.
What are you, Nix?
I'm whatever you want me to be.
She
Ah.
means.
Okay,
Amazing.
you are Alistair,
I am.
and you are?
With a point.
I am Philip Iontu.
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, but you can be moving along.
We actually were going to shop at this tobacconist's, I believe.
Well, there's no need for that. Unfortunately, we'll be shutting this place down.
Oh.
Why is that, if you don't mind my asking?
It's
Will
none
there-
of your business.
Will there be a
Well,
sale?
perhaps I can persuade you otherwise.
Yeah. Will there be a sale?
Well,
like-
let's
that's the
look at it
elf brain
this
there.
way. You can roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I like my chances. 13, so that would be a 19. No.
I was going to say,
20.
your persuasion's higher than that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
persuasion plus 9.
So 22.
22.
0.
A natural 20.
So 22.
20.
Which ironically was not a very intelligent choice.
He's been smuggling goods into the city and not paying tax.
Smuggling?
Yes.
Whence? Whence doth he smuggle?
I like
What?
this new Philip.
He means.
Fire I haven't seen before.
Oh, he was always there under the surface.
I'm sorry, what?
Where's it coming from? Where are the goods coming from?
The same place most illegal things within the city come from.
Port trouble. Port trouble.
Oh, will you look at that? The foreigners are learning.
It's well named.
It is well named.
Yeah.
We're told it had another name, but that one stuck.
Surely, if you're seizing his shop and his goods, we could just
Seize them with you.
seize a little bit extra.
And
Make a persuasion check.
oh, that's less good.
So what is that? 16.
16.
I don't think so. These goods are now the property of the crown
Then we'll buy them.
and will be destroyed accordingly.
Well,
the
Your
goods we
Majesty.
wanted before they were considered illegal, we'd like to buy off you.
Hang on
And
one
also-
second. Sorry, Alistair.
Yes.
No, carry on.
Oh, well, Your Majesty, your queen, I do believe. Perhaps you are of a little bit more of an understanding nature, and you could ask these kind gentlemen to get us a bit of hemp.
I understand what you're asking, but I will always side with the leader of my militia. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it has to be.
Can I ask a question? Just to ascertain the situation. So this man has been smuggling goods into the city, which is illegal because he's not been paying tax, from Port Trouble, where we just were, talking to the overlords of Port Trouble, the barons.
Yes.
So
We've now kind of like made our. We've cemented.
we've
our
made them
disfavour with
enemies.
them.
Yeah, yes. Cemented our disfavor. Yes, indeed. Are these your suspects?
We were going to question the individual about where he's been getting these products and who from.
I am very persuasive.
He's
Perhaps-
incredibly persuasive.
Perhaps I could talk to them.
He's still alive. This is
Make a persuasion check for me.
Ooh, that's good. I can't add.
Take one away and add 10.
That's a good plan. 23.
Oh. Well, I don't see why we can't strike a deal.
Yes.
You acquire information for us. Perhaps help us put a stop to the smuggling.
Yes,
Of-
I can do that.
After all, you will be escorted by the militia as well, and they will help you. But let's put it this way. You help, we turn a blind eye to you taking a crate or two.
I'd be very happy to do that. That's
Mr.
the right
Militiaman,
decision,
you know
isn't
your queen is right here. Like, she can probably hear this conversation.
Well, she's already said she trusts him completely.
Oh, okay. Just, you know.
You've earned favour within the city, and I trust his opinion. It's not entirely orthodox, but if it gets rid of the trouble and helps us deal with the port trouble situation, then
I see what you did
And
there.
frankly,
That was good.
Yes.
it gets Brother Jurgen off my back, and that would just be. I need to get back to my rocks.
It's a hard life you lead.
It really is.
tell you what. Why don't you go talk to the individual in question?
Don't mind if I diddly do. I crack my knuckles.
Is he just inside, Captain Evander?
Oh yes, actually I don't know where I'm going.
He's currently standing by the doorway.
Oh, he's right here. Hello.
Could he hear the conversation this whole time? Have we just been talking?
No,
No,
all
you're
We've just been
around
talking
with
about
the
taking his
commotion
stuff.
going on. You're still around 30 foot away from him.
Okay.
So he's in deep conversation with a member of the militia, and they're going back and forth, at which point you can approach.
After you, Alistair.
I got to him.
Listen, how can you expect me to say such extortionate prices in tax? I'm just trying to run a business here. Come on. Who are you?
They call me Alistair Vondercombe. Please, have a seat.
He looks around. Where?
Can I minor illusion a seat?
You can. Oh, very kind of you. And he goes to sit down and falls flat on his ass straight into the illusion. Is that supposed to be some sort of joke?
Yes. Let's sit on the floor, and I go down to join him on the floor.
Philip is in hysterics. Just 30 feet away, but in hysterics.
When did this start? What was your name again, sorry?
Me?
Yes.
Well, I own the shop.
What's your name?
My name? Sandler, dear.
Sandler, dear. Well, Sandler, dear. Do you mind if I call you San?
I don't see why not.
Well, San, you can talk to me. When did this whole crime thing start?
I'm not a criminal.
No,
I'm a
don't
business
believe
owner.
you are. Well, one and the same if you ask some people.
Listen, I don't know you. You're a stranger.
20 minutes.
So, if you don't mind, I want to get back to my business, please.
It's okay, I put a hand on his shoulder and cast friends.
Of course you do. Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
You sound so disappointed, TM.
Of course.
19 and 20.
Listen, I was just trying to make ends meet.
I understand, and I will speak in your defense, but we need to know the root of these troubles.
Got talking to some thugs in Port Trouble.
Of course you did. Poor trouble. Oh, why I ought to...
Such a troublesome place.
And then, well, I was asked to move some goods. I could keep the profit I made. I can tell you where I got the goods from. I didn't deal with anyone high up, but I know where they're based.
If you could tell us, that would be of an enormous help, and I'm sure they will be lenient with you.
You promise?
I promise.
How did that go last time?
Are you being honest or deceitful?
I am being as honest as I can be.
Make the last persuasion check with advantage.
16 and natural 20.
Oh, well.
All right, friend. You seem like an all right fella.
Yes,
And
I
he
know.
reaches his arm out. I think we have a deal.
Lovely. Do you have a family?
No.
Oh, I was going to
Just
give
me.
you some gold and be kind, but I don't care.
I wish I said yes.
If you could, yes, give us the location. Tell me and the militia captain.
Well, you want to bring him over?
Come. I beckon him. Come here.
Captain Evander, I think he's trying to beckon you.
Beckon.
He thinks it's a cantrip of his. He's
Do I have to?
I found in my
I'm kidding.
experiences. Yeah. Okay.
He approaches. So, what have you managed to glean from this individual?
Well, he has given us the whereabouts of the people he spoke to that approached him for the smuggling job.
Well, maybe there is honour amongst thieves after all.
I do believe there is. He strikes me like a nice enough chap. Perhaps we could. Well, I sort of promised that he would that you would be lenient with him.
Lenient with him.
Yes.
How lenient
Well,
are you expecting?
What was his punishment before?
Well, for a first-time offender, it would only be a fine. But there have been several cases like this throughout the city, so we were considering making an example of him. Perhaps a fortnight in the stocks?
How about no time in the stocks and just the fine? And I will put 35 gold towards it. I drop it on the floor for some reason. I do apologize. That was an accident.
Begrudgingly bends down and picks it up. This should go a fair way into the fine. Pockets it. Tell you what.
Can I insight check Captain Evander?
Yeah, of course.
He's gonna let that money go to the fight. That's a terrible roll. So 12.
He's a trustworthy member of the militia.
Of course he is.
Believe he'll hand it in to the correct authorities.
Okay. I just don't like to see gold wasted.
Does that sound like a deal to you? Yeah, all right then. That sounds fair. I'll keep my nose clean. Thank you very much. I'll even draw you a map to their warehouse. How's that sound, sir? Most agreeable.
Can I have a quick insight check on the guy I just did a deal with?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I think my insight's pretty poor as well. Yeah, 3.
3. Well,
I'm just looking at the list. Yep. He seems trustworthy.
in the situation he's in, what has he got to lose? You're pretty sure he's telling the truth. You're not 100% either way.
Okay.
Okay, so he does draw up a map, show you the warehouse. Whilst this is going on, he instructs him, takes the map, Captain Evander this is, and thank you very much, be on your way. Brings you back to the rest of the party.
This whole time, where was I?
What would you have liked to be doing during this time?
Enjoying the sunshine.
Enjoying the sunshine?
Looking at the sea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Maybe exchange a glance with the queen. Try to get read of her. What's her deal?
Make her insight check.
I give him dirty looks every time I catch him looking at the queen.
Are you still holding the queen's
Yes,
hand?
I am.
9.
She's holds herself with regality. You've seen her be kind to her people. People in her charge seem to like her. No reason not to trust her.
Okay.
Holla. Holla.
What would you have been talking to the Queen about, or was it just awkward silences and the occasional side glance where
It's
you'd
just
make
annoying.
eye
It was absolutely just silence. Occasional foot playing. As in, I tried to, I don't know, just get nearer her slightly. I'm looking for a piece of paper to write my fantasy number down.
Whilst doing this, she does look over to you and just like, you are very sweet, and she does unfortunately let go of your hand.
Do you let go? You just keep holding on.
I hold my own hand just to keep that going.
So did I hear correctly? Your name is Nyx.
I nod, yes.
Well, Nyx, what do you do? What's your gift?
I cast light.
Oh, a magic user.
I nod.
And in return, she also casts light.
Oh, sweet. That's in character. It's the first words I've said to her.
It's only simple. It's a gift most of our people have.
I feel a little less special.
Well, it looks like they're wrapping up.
Do you want to get the hemp? The hemp. Go and get the hemp. Where is it?
It's like
It's in the shop.
10 minutes.
Holla.
Yo,
Go and get the hemp.
it's in the shop.
It's in the shop.
Yes.
It's in the shop.
I go to the shop.
What are you two talking about?
Hemp.
I'm pretty sure the deal was you get it after the business is complete.
Yes.
Oh,
We
was
weren't
it?
talk-
Was
we
it?
weren't
I
talking
was
about
right.
the deal. We're talking about hemp.
No,
Just
Holyrood's fine.
Gossip.
It's all
Recent
under-
hemp news.
Hemp's their friend from.
Hemp. Yeah, he's a
From the
halfling.
crew.
He's a
Yeah.
halfling monk with a terrible accent. You should really look him up. Hemp. That's his name.
Hemp.
Hemp.
What's a halfling?
One of them.
Short little person. You know that that roguish fellow that was on the boat?
From
Oh,
my,
yes.
From my height, dwarves and halflings.
That was a halfling.
A little bit shorter than me.
Okay, I will look up this character then, shall I?
Are you like 4 foot or 5 foot?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm like 6 foot.
Oh, you're not a dwarf.
He's an
You're
elf.
Oh, I'm an
Sorry,
elf.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a
fine.
dwarf.
I'm
You're a
like
dwarf.
6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay.
Okay, so let's put it this way. You help the commander, clear out the warehouse, glean information, and you can have your crate for your friend.
Fantastic.
Okay, that sounds like a good
He's
deal.
not my friend, but okay.
Can I go up to Holler and
He's
Nix
a
and go?
nice guy.
Did you see?
Brother
Did you
Jürgen.
see me
I
interrogate
see
that
him.
fellow?
He's not my brother.
I did such a good job.
Holla is not listening to you.
I look.
Holler and I are still talking about hemp.
I look across the room and I see you talking at this person that is not listening to you, and I just
Holler, listen.
So then I inhaled, but it was a little bit too much. And I coughed all evening. It was so embarrassing.
Alistair, little man, what are you saying?
It doesn't matter.
Speak to me, boy.
So now I only do edibles. That's
I'm still talking about hemp.
Isn't it great? You can do anything in a fantasy world. Like, you can go to the shops to buy some fags or
You can
get some
afford facts.
wine.
That's nice.
Anyway,
so when are we going on this expedition, this investigation?
I was going to allow you to finish your conversation, but I mean, we do have a job to do.
I think it started to an end there.
He does gather up some listeners. Men, meet me down in the docks in around half an hour. We're going on a raid.
that's just enough time for quite a short rest.
Yes, actually, my head is still bleeding from where that rock hit me earlier. That's probably why I've lost my sense of decorum.
He turns to the queen and is just, will you be heading back to the palace then, miss? Yes, I think I shall. I will leave you in the captain's very capable hands. If you want to go take a short rest in the barracks, please do so.
I do.
We do so.
Yeah, really do so.
Okay, so
Spend a couple hit die.
And I do the Song of Rest thing.
Commander Evander leads you to the docks where there is a small military barracks. Leads you inside, gives you a lobby area where you can sit and rest for a while. If any of you need to roll hit dice to regain some hit points or use any of your abilities, do so.
Can I restore hit die and arcane recovery?
You can use hit die and arcane recovery.
Our resident wizard expert in the corner
No,
there.
you can. You can
Yes.
as long as
Okay.
you're not doing anything else, you can do both.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. That's good to know.
Does this replenish my spell points?
Nope.
Oh.
It does
Just for
replenish
me.
your inspiration.
Wizards get spell points back because
Arcane
it's really interesting to watch, isn't it?
This is
recovery.
this is the
Why-
mechanics of the game in effect.
Why
As you see,
don't you sing your song of rest?
Luckily, I have
Thank you.
a short poem ready. A story, good people, of Alistair the Bard, who was handsome and awesome and thoroughly admired.
Good, strong.
He who walks with the grace of an angel's wings, who is hugely talented in a multitude of things. Like the time he climbed down from the top of a cliff, or the time he made love to a beautiful nymph. So remember, good people, of Alistair, the righter of wrongs, the climber of mountains, and the singer of songs.
Oh,
Not bad.
oh, bravo, bravo!
That means it on point.
Thank you.
I like
Thank
it.
you, everyone. Thank
You know the knots in your shoulder blades? I could just feel them loosen as you talked. It was...
Well,
Very
you
restful.
are welcome.
Thank you.
Excellent. So you complete your short rest. I am here a lovely, lovely poem from Alistair. Whether or not you believe everything in it is up to you.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I like it. It rhymed. It was nice.
The commander does gesture for you to follow him. He leads you to a small military craft capable of carrying you and several members of the militia. You board, and you set off, heading towards Port Trouble. Once again, the smell hits you of this shanty town. The smell of grime and pollution and just filth. You see the buildings crumbling, set upon piers, and the commander looks over and is just like, it's wise for you all, from what I've been instructed, to stay with the militia. From what I've understood, you haven't made friends in this place.
Oh, Alistair did.
Oh, I didn't really, because that all got mucked up.
And that's where we're going to leave this session off. I'm going to hand over to our SM Naomi. Thank you very much for coming along.
Okay. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. So, just a couple of things before we all rush off. Thank you for joining us. Do feel free to come back at any point during the festival. We will be here in this room from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. every day up until the 28th, apart from the 24th and 25th. We are also, if you want to stay for the next hour, you'd be absolutely more than welcome. All you've got to do is pop downstairs, buy a fresh ticket, whether that's audience or playing. You can also watch us playing on the live stream on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. Hello, live stream. And you can follow the live tweeting on @Adventurers250, which is what I was doing over there. Please spread the word about us. If you take any photos, please put them on Instagram and tag us @Adventurers Wanted, Facebook, Twitter, or just face to face with people you meet in the old-fashioned way. Thank you to our players. Some of them are also involved in other. Are you involved in an Edinburgh show?
No, I'm with him.
You're with him. Great. So, some of them are involved in Edinburgh shows, so I'm going to give them a chance to do a quick one-sentence plug for their show.
I'm in a puppet musical called Heartwood. It's about a little girl trying to deal with grief. It is very funny and very great and all those things. And it is on every day except for 14th at midday, and it is at venue 13. So if you want to give that a look, there's flyers there.
And I'm doing a play called Open Heart Surgery, which is in Holyrood 2, every day until the 13th at 6:15. It's a play about a conservative therapist dealing with her first gay couple, and it's a play about why we love certain people and why we stay in relationships that aren't necessarily healthy for us, and just how tricky relationships are in general.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Can we please? We do have a quick 10-minute turnaround, so we are going to be asking you to leave through the doors you came in by. But before we do that, can we please give a round of applause to our players and to our GM? Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us for the night hour. Hopefully we will see you again. Have a lovely evening.
Woo, yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
DMing like 250 hours?
No, we switch back and
Cheers.
forth between 3-4 of us.
Okay.
I will be DMing tomorrow morning for another 5 hours.
We do
also
evening
one
shift,
character.
morning
No,
shift,
but
and then
I-
it changes.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
When have you ever played Not Girls? When have you ever not
Yeah,
played
she's
it?
always
Yeah.
got the same name. This one's gender fluid.
Yeah, we've had a lot of first-time players.
Okay.
I think we've
Which
had.
is why I was
10
avoiding
so
pronouns
far
for
in the
you.
last 4 days. 10
Very
people who've
kind.
never played before.
He gets annoyed. I name
Come-
every
come
character
buy a
next.
ticket to play.
So I knew that would annoy him.
How long have people playing for like
It's
an
just-
hour, or is it-
Sometimes I
there
didn't. I
was
named
one
one of
chap
them
who-